when I wrote my memoir, I didn't make the big New York Times bestseller list, and I was crushed about it. I was really crushed about it.
I wanted to ask you how that, because I assume just from knowing what I know about you that had to be a goal
It was.
for
It
you.
was. And then I did in talking to some other authors, and they made me feel so much better. They were like, "Do you know how hard it is to sell books?" And you know this
I
because you've been
know.
through it a couple of times. It is hard to sell books. Now my sales were good. They were healthy, and I get no better delight than when somebody rolls up on me and says like, "I read your book and it did this for me." And because you're choosing to spend a lot of time with somebody when you read their book,
Yeah.
that's yeah, like that's 200, 300 pages
Yeah.
that you and them. And so that's an honor that people would do that and finish the book. But I was crushed by that because as a writer and my first book, it's like, of course, you want to be able to say that because it helps you sell the second
For
book. That's the
sure.
most that's the most important
For
part.
sure.
It's like it helps you get that other book.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay. And I remember sharing that with my husband, and he was like really surprised to hear that. Like, oh, I was like, yeah, the reviews were great and everything, and it was trending in the right direction. And I was like, and I didn't make it. And I was just like, oh. And I try, I had to kind of correct my framing with that. It's like making a list or not making a list is not indicative of the book.
Right.
And but it was nevertheless good motivation and good perspective for me to have. I have another book that's coming out next year. It's a children's book though, and which was a different kind of writing because my memoir. I mean, it certainly has some adult stuff in it, for sure. And writing for kids is very different because you have to pretend like the world is not on fire,
Right.
and you actually have to give them some hope, which was not that wasn't the easiest, all right? Because I was like, "Ooh, how do I pretend
Right.
that we are not all doomed?" I don't know how to do
I have to
that,
do
but
that every day to make a funny video every day. I've got to avoid fire and brimstone, it feels like, and be like, man,
you know
what
what
y'all
I'm
think
saying?
about the best breads, y'all?
Yeah,
Because we
right.
all see what's happening, and it's just like, I can't talk about that every day. I'm going to lose my mind.